It's all about Carnival Slayers, and Darren, let me tell you that. Listen, we're big, small, tall, black, white, you name it, you're welcome. Carnival Slayers is the place to be, all right? Make sure you follow, like, subscribe. You can't go wrong.
Carnival Slayers.
For the latest hot source, news, gossip, or artist interviews, make sure that you subscribe to our Carnival Slayers YouTube channel. Then tell a friend to tell a friend.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome and good night. This is a special edition of Slayers Extra Hot Sauce. Now, I'm going to be your host tonight. I am Giselle, for those of you who don't know me, aka Gizzy. And I'm actually sitting in for tonight's host, who is meant to be Abs. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us because of a family bereavement, and we send our love and condolences to her and all of the family. So I'm stepping in tonight to sit and chat with these lovely ladies in celebration of Women's Month. I'm so excited to be joined by all of these beautiful ladies, women in music. Not just soca music, but different genres and dance as well. And it's going to be an interesting discussion because usually we don't get to hear the female side of things, especially being in the music industry. So it's really nice to be joined by ladies to hear their side of their experience being in the music industry. And just to give you a bit of background, I'm also a vocalist. I started off as a vocalist. A lot of you know me in the Carnival world as a designer, but I've actually been in the music industry since 1996. So a lot of people regard me as like the big sister. Having been involved in music for so long, and having performed and shared the stage with some of the biggest soca artists in the Caribbean, including the Queen of Soca herself, Alison Hines. So I'm no stranger to the stage as well. So what I will do, I will let my beautiful guests introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves before we get into the discussion tonight. So I will start from my left on my screen, which is Joe Money. So Joe, if you introduce yourself.
Good evening, guys. My name is Joe Lean, or aka Joe Money. It's nice to be here. I am the current UK Soccer Monarch, the second European Soccer Monarch follow-up. And yeah, I'm a carnival designer and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Thank you. I'll go down on my left. So the bottom of my screen underneath Joe is Divine. Joe, Divine, could you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, hey, I'm Divine, and I am UK soca, but versatile. I'll sing loads of other different genres. I'm not a designer. I just wear the stuff when I see it. It's me. I was a dancer as well, but now it's just strictly music.
Cool. Next to Joe is have I put a solutionaire? Actually, a name came off the screen. So if you could, yeah, you pronounced it. I just saw I couldn't get it
Yes.
right.
I'm Stephanie Nicole, or you can call me Solutionary One, and I am a singer, songwriter, and producer. And I'm so thankful to be here with all of you lovely ladies and talking about music and all the fun things that it is great to be a woman.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just tell us, whereabouts are you based?
So I'm in Southern California in the United States.
Lovely. So in the Sunshine State. So
Yeah,
if I come down from you, I've got Nadiva
come
from Sun
visit.
Divas.
Come visit. I would love it.
Oh yeah, no, it's on my bucket list. Definitely on my
Yes.
bucket list.
I'm going with Giselle, so yeah.
We'll go dancing.
Unwinding, unwinding.
Yes, always.
For real, for real. Just below Solutionary One is Nadiva from Sun Divas. Nadiva.
Hi everyone. So I'm Nadiva. I'm from a duo called Sun Divas. We are sisters. We are UK soca artists. We have been performing, singing, writing music for over 10 years. We have some accolades as well. We are Soca Monarchs, Groovy Soca Monarch, Power Soca Monarch, and the current Road March champions for the UK, and also St. Vincent Soca Monarch finalists. Yeah, we just do soca.
Yeah.
Yep.
And going back up on my screen is Natalia.
Hi, I'm Natalia. Yeah, I was born in Trinidad and I'm in Switzerland at the moment, and I'm taking part in the Europe Soca Monarch competition and with my Power Soca song called Proper. So still trying to get a lot of votes.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
okay, cool. We'll definitely let you tell us more about that later on in the show as well. So at least we can get people voting. Definitely. And below Natalia on my screen is Fay Simon.
That's correct. My name is Fay Simon. I'm a singer-songwriter from London, based here in London, UK, and I sing jazz and soul and Afro house.
Oh, nice. That sounds really good. And last but not least, Miss Desire.
Hey everybody, I'm Desire, UK soca artist. I sing, I write. I'm the current UK Groovy Soca Monarch right now, and I also design like Jolene. I have a section Infinite Mass for Notting Hill Carnival 2020, and yeah, I'm all things Caribbean. So
Cool. So we have a really nice mix of ladies here on the chat tonight. Everyone, don't forget, please share the live. Share the live and tell a friend, because this is going to be a really interesting, hopefully empowering and uplifting show, because women, we are the cradle of society. So
yes,
we
for
hold
sure.
it together. We hold it down. So this is gonna be a good one. So tonight we're going to be talking a few things about the music industry. But the first thing I want to ask everyone, and we'll take it in turns, is actually what inspired you to become a singer? What inspired you to get into music? Let's start with the last first, which is Desire, and we'll go around the screen.
I have actually been singing since I was 6. So when I came into I started in the musical theater kind of route. Firstly started singing in church, really loved singing. Then I kind of went into performing arts school. And I done all disciplines of kind of, I guess, performing arts. So I done dance, I done singing and acting and all of that. But the singing is what really stuck with me. And then it wasn't until I was 16, 17. I used to go to Barbados every year for crop over. And I went to Cobblepot and I saw Alison Hines and I was in awe. I was like, what's this? I want to do this, because up until then, I was never really exposed to live soca acts. Living in the UK, you're not really exposed to too much live. Well, not back then. Showing my age. Not back then. You wasn't exposed to too many. So when I was in the Caribbean, I was exposed to it and I was like, this is the genre that I wanted to do. I was like, I don't want to do gospel no more. I don't want to do R&B. I want to do soca. It's a feel good music. So I've been singing all my life, but I kind of took it more seriously around 2008, I will say.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And I like, so it wasn't the whining and the bam bam with Alison that make you feel you are
No, it was the actual power in her voice and the command of the stage. Like, up until then, like, I had been to concerts. I had been to like Spice Girls and like, you know, those concerts that we had here. Like, that's what it was. Like, we had those kind of concerts here. But up until then, I had never seen a female go on stage and command the stage like how Alison did. And I was like, I want to do that. That was literally like the turning point.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's really great. And really good for you to fly the soca flag as well, because you know, being from the Caribbean, myself being from Trinidad, you know, it's nice to fly your own flag.
Yeah. Especially where we live here. So much, we have so much things here to digest in the pot, and it's easy to just say, yo, I'm gonna sing pop and R&B because we're living in the UK. Like, that would just be an easy win. But you know, flying the flag is always a mission.
Well done to you. Well done to you. And for those who haven't picked up on the accent yet, she's Bajan. So
yeah, I'm from Barbados. I am from Barbados.
Are you Barbadian?
Yes, Jolene. Yes.
I just want to say big up to Davis Coco P. Dean, who is joining us and watching live. Hello, Davis Coco P. Dean. He is the brains behind the EU Soca Monarch competition, which we will talk about a little bit later on. So blessings to you, Coco P. Me and Coco go way back as well. So it's nice to see you, you know, tuning in and supporting the ladies as you always do, Coco. So big up to yourself. So Faye, tell me, what made you get into the music industry and singing in the first place?
Well, actually, I always sang. It's one of the first things I did. So I'm going to show my age now. My favorite song when I was really little was What's Love Got to Do With It, Tina Turner. And
that's a classic.
Did you sing when they were small?
I was always on the bus going to school. I was always singing this song. And because I was just singing, I didn't realize people were actually listening. I used to get standing ovations on the bus going home from school. It was one of those things that it just came naturally. And because it was something that I enjoyed, I loved it. It was, my mum used to sing in the kitchen all the time. So it wasn't anything that I thought was embarrassing. You know, people will always hide their voices or stop themselves from singing or stop other people hearing them sing. I never did that when I was younger. I just sang because it was something I enjoyed doing. And it wasn't until other people appreciated it that I realized I was good at it. It was something that I could do that wasn't just a pastime. So it's something that I always wanted to do. It was I knew when I grew up, I was going to be a singer. I always knew that. So because I love the music and I love to dance as well, just like Desire, I studied performing arts. I did ballet, jazz, tap, everything, every type of dance, just because I enjoyed it. I wanted to just learn and experience music in every kind of way that I could. So like even right now, I'm a music teacher, so I continue to learn music and I like teaching it. I like studying it. I enjoy experiencing all different types of music, and it just enriches your soul. And that's when you realize that it's something that is unique, but also everybody loves it. Everybody enjoys music, regardless of the genre of music. Which is why I cross over to different genres as well.
Oh, that's brilliant. So hands up, who does be belting out in the shower? Something about the acoustics in the bathroom, right?
You want me to continue nattering?
It's different in the bathroom. I don't know why, but in the bathroom, them acoustics does hit real nice.
Whole concert in the shower.
So coming next to Nadiva, tell us why you got into music.
So I think I'll talk for like me and my sister as we sing together.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, similar.
The acoustics are perfect in the bathroom.
The acoustics in the
Oh,
bathroom.
Fay is delayed.
Wait, Fay, is there a delay for Fay?
Yeah, she now got the joke about the bathroom
Oh.
singing. Yeah, so don't worry, just keep going.
Cool. So yeah, similar to Faye and Desire, I grew up like, it's weird because I feel like soca music just brought a lot of joy to my family in general. So growing up, soca was like my normal music. So it's weird because when I was out and about in the UK, in London, like at like friends' parties or in school, like I just didn't understand why I didn't hear soca anywhere except for like in my family, like in my close knit like surroundings. I was so confused, but I was like, this music is the best. It brought my family together. It made people happy. For me as a child, I didn't really understand everything, but what I understood is that this music just brought people together and made people so happy. And then on the other side of that, my Vincentian grandparents, I went to church with them. They really like wanted me to stay on like not really the gospel path, but they gave me that sort of those sort of teachings of God and like growing up in church. So it was weird because I would love gospel and I loved like the feeling that it gave me being a Christian and like growing up in church and singing gospel music. And then I was like, but there's something about soca music that just brings people so much joy. I was just drawn to it, you know, and it makes you feel like a sense of self as a like Black person growing up in the UK as well. I understood that a lot of British culture wasn't my own, but what drew me to my culture and made me feel myself was the music. So that was initially it. As well as that, growing up, being in performing arts school as well, there's some trends here. Like growing up and like loving dance. My dad specifically, he was a musician back in St. Vincent before he came to the UK. Big up my dad. He used to play steel pan in the village, and just growing up around all the stories and the culture. For me, it was just a natural. It was just a given that this was the genre that I'll get into. Also, I feel like I always knew I was going to be a singer. I didn't know what genre though. So yeah, and I think that's the route for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Divine, what actually inspired you to be a singer?
I don't know. Just always like Desire. I started at 6, and 6 was when I moved to Barbados. I can't say that I watched anybody and said, "Oh, I want to be like that." I just knew that I wanted to be a singer. That's why I was so crap at school. I was like, "Why do I have to learn this? I don't need to learn this to sing." You know what I mean? Still crap maths in that. But yeah, I sang in the school choir. I sang really softly in the back because I was always really shy. My dad bought me a keyboard. I would write my own songs, and I hid all of the music I wanted to do in dance. I had like at school, I had my own dance group. We'd do loads of shows, dancing and stuff. I did acting and everything, but all I really wanted to do was to sing. So it took me a while to start letting people hear my music and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up on like listening to like Madonna. Like Madonna was Holiday and all that crap. Yeah, my little veranda, my wall, thinking about the little boy down the street and that kind of stuff. So I my mom listening to the soca, but I don't know, like I didn't really know what it was. And then I didn't start obviously wanting to get into soca until I was here. And the only reason I got into it because someone asked me to sing backup for them on stage. And then I thought the soca, I was like, that doesn't sound like soca to me. I was thinking I could sing better than that. So then I started if there was any soca artists. And then that's when I discovered Miss Desire. And who else was it? I think there was, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is. She just, I don't know.
Chardonnay.
Yeah, yeah.
Chardonnay.
And I just got into it. And yeah, I didn't have any. It was just I just knew I was going to be a singer. Like
yeah,
entertainment, acting, anything. I know that's what I was just meant to do. So
Yeah. And you just done it, which is what I like. This is,
yeah,
and all of you beautiful ladies, it's something that you're gonna do,
yeah.
and you just done it.
Years ago. I'm angry that I didn't do it years ago because I kind of did it like secret. I used to go to the little singing classes and all of that, like when I was like in my 20s and stuff. But I was just always didn't want anyone to hear my music. And then back then, I didn't even know if they had soca. I don't even think soca existed in London back then. So I just used to sing the little R&B and slow jam.
Yeah, I think most of us in the Caribbean who started off in music started off like that because that was our background, for most of us. I mean, I remember, and hands up if you used to take the hairbrush and use it as your microphone. I mean, the hairbrush was my microphone in front of the mirror. I would be like, from us singing with this hairbrush.
Putting the towel on the head. Here and all that kind of foolishness.
Yeah. You're getting wigs and things because I mean, well, back in my time, it was Casey Kasem and American Top 40, what used to show in Trinidad. So like you talking about Madonna and stuff. I mean, Madonna, Janet Jackson, all of them was the in thing in my day. So I was like, in with my brush and thing in front of my mirror, and I was going, so. So it's interesting to hear about your journey and stuff, which sounds very organic into music. Next, I'll come to Natalia. Natalia, tell us, what was your inspiration for getting into music and becoming a singer?
Well, I just listened to radio and everything like everybody else, and then I started writing when I was 8, and I really enjoyed just singing, and I felt so confident when I was singing. So I just thought, this is what I have to do. Like, this is what I love. Yeah. And then I heard Patrice Roberts and Kes and everybody. And, like, I just was like, okay, that production, I like the production Kes has. And I was just like, maybe I should record like something in that way. And, but before I did, like in 2009, I recorded chutney music. I was part in the semifinals. And so, yeah, so I'm just trying different genres, and I also sing parang, and so I do a bit of everything. Yeah,
which is nice. But I mean, obviously growing up in Trinidad, you're surrounded by soca music. Or did you grow up in Trinidad, or you were just born
actually,
there?
I grew up in Switzerland, but I was like back and forth a lot. So I spent like even now, like now I spend like half of the time in Trinidad and half of the time like abroad. So it's like I'm like everywhere, performing everywhere and living like both places.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's interesting having different cultures as well, because you have the rich Trinidad culture and the music, and then you have the Swiss side, so
it's completely different. Yeah,
that's
like
cool.
in Switzerland, everybody's real quiet and everything, and like so it's a different kind of different vibes. Yeah.
Well, you need to be spreading soca in Switzerland.
It's just I want to go back. I miss it so much. But I'll come back soon.
Yeah. For real. And next, the solutionary one. Tell us your journey into music.
Sure. Yeah. So I have some similar background. So I started out singing choir, and then that's my musical background. I did a lot of classical music, and then musical theater was huge for me. My first play was The Wiz, and I loved it. And I definitely went the choir route and did like singing for like events and stuff for people. Like I was in DC metro area when I was involved with that. So I'd be on like television for like news reporters and stuff, singing the national anthem and whatnot. And then I joined a reggae band, and then I started doing my own music and writing my own music. And I am so thankful that I did that, because coming from classical, which is very like everything needs to be sound a certain way, crescendo at this part, to going to reggae, which was completely different, was really beautiful. And then I'm half Puerto Rican and half African, so there's a lot of like Caribbean Listen to Tito Puente, La Lupe, all these beautiful Puerto Rican artists as well. So it's kind of all embedded in what I do now too. And I just love it. I'm so thankful that I was surrounded by it in my house all the time and was singing definitely in the shower, at the school bus. My bus driver growing up loved Mariah Carey. So we'd all be singing Mariah Carey on the bus back in the day, which was so fun. But yeah, I'm so thankful music came into my life because I don't know what I would do without it. And yeah, I sing every day or produce every day. One of the two.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always say music is life. I can't do. Anyone knows that song "Life Without Music"? I think it's Steel Pulse sang that.
Yeah.
Always says life without music, I can't cope. No, I cannot cope without music. Honestly, I just can't.
We used to cover that song in my band.
Is it? Yeah, that's a big tune. That's a big tune. I see Nadiva looking lost. Nadiva, you don't know that song? Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Steel Pulse is legend.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I do know it, but
you probably do.
Nadiva, you're making me feel old, girl. Oh God. I have to take a little sip of water for that. Nadiva looking lost enough. Lost. Okay, last but not least, we come into Joe. Joe, tell us about your inspiration for getting into music.
All right, so originally I started singing in the church with my grandma. She wasn't my grandma, but she was my grandma. And she was an Antigua lady that used to look after me as a child. And she used to drag my bottom to church every Sunday. And with the tambourine, I had to play the tambourine like it was my lifeline. Like if you didn't play this tambourine, you weren't going to get fed afterwards. So I was playing the tambourine with all my strength and soul and might. All. So I was going home to get that good food. But then moving up into life, I was like always the only black child in certain places that I went to, like my school and stuff. So no one understood a culture that I came from. And so I had to fight to get into a part of the culture that I come from. As I got older, I got into the Mobile Awards, backing singing, vocals for everyone else. And I did shows with a whole a plethora of famous people, especially from the UK. And it was one day, and it was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for myself. It's time now, isn't it? It's time. So it went from supporting everyone else I cared about and loved, doing everything else that was outside of my realm or what I knew, and turning into soca. But my original stuff is bashment and R&B.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, I remember looking at you perform at a Soca Monarch competition. I think that's when you won, when I was actually hosting that one. And it's interesting that you say your background is bashment.
Yes.
Because your performance, the level of energy that I saw in that performance is the same kind of energy that I would see in a bashment, kind of event. That vibe, I could definitely.
I'm a very bashment person.
It was. You were singing soca, but believe me, the whole energy, the whole aura, everything definitely had that bashment element in it. And it's nice to see that all of you have so many different influences. And like somebody said in the comments, that is very diverse, and it is really, really diverse. And it's beautiful to see. Because, you have from Barbados to St. Vincent to Switzerland to Puerto Rico, to Trinidad, so it's really, really amazing.
St. Lucian here. Sorry, St. Lucian.
Oh, and St. Lucian. Proper.
We have Vince's in the building.
Right, we had Vince's. Oh,
right.
Yeah. I did mention Vinci.
Oh,
Nadine said it.
That's the one who don't know.
I represent like 3 islands, so I need to make sure I mention.
All right, mention all of them. Who it is? St. Vincent. Who are who?
St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Barbados.
Hey.
Oh gosh, cool. So when it comes to your craft, ladies, yes, all of you have been doing it for a while. A lot of you started off quite young singing, and performing and stuff like that, and even went to school, performing art school and stuff. But when you started to sing professionally, Did any of you take any time to invest in your craft and do any sort of vocal coaching or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, when I was in performing arts, that was just like a given. You had to do vocal lessons anyways. And then when I kind of left, I had God, I forgot her name. That this lovely lady named Grace. She was like my singing of my vocal tutor for like years, and I used to love going to her house. But yeah, I don't do it so much now, because I feel like I probably got to a point where I probably don't need it as much. Not that you never don't need to have vocal coaching, but I just don't do it as a regular basis. But I still try to like sing as much as I can at home. I'm always like, Nadine, can you guys teach me how to harmonize? I always will say to Nadine and Sam when I see them, I'm like, can y'all teach me how to harmonize good? But yeah, no, I can't harmonize, but I know, but I get really like, it's hard to me. Harmonizing is not like my strong suit, so like I always shy away from it. But I've always done like vocal coaching. I think everybody has to like keep up that side of it.
Yeah, same really. Like in performing arts school, I had like singing, a singing lesson every time I did like my dance and everything. Every Saturday, vocals was in the morning, and then like drama, tap, ballet, jazz, and before that, actually, my dad was going to vocal lessons before my sister and myself started going, which was really good because we just joined him. I was in the class with my dad, started off in the kids class, and then we went to the adults class, and it was fun. Yeah, so it was encouraging, and like it's definitely like Desire is something that I don't do as often, but I do have a routine with my sister that we do ourselves, because I guess once you learn certain techniques, I guess you can just do it yourself. But we do like have coaches and people who we will see every so often who we've worked with in the past, and we love like going to see them just for a little boost. And it's
No, and that's good. I mean, the thing is, always keeping the vocals in tune is a good thing, and always investing in yourself and in your craft is a continuous thing. So it's good to hear. It's good to hear that you tap into it as and when required. I just want to come to something a little bit more on a serious note, because as a female in the industry and having been in the industry for such a long time myself, I've faced many, many challenges. And as we know, the music industry was male dominated for quite a long time. And trying to break into the industry had its own challenges. And I wonder if any of you want to share some of your own personal experiences and challenges around being in the industry, and whether or not you still experience any of those challenges and how do you overcome them. I'll open out the floor so anybody who wants to go first.
I'd just like to say happened recently that with house music, although we've come a long way, as you said, we can do whatever we want when it comes to being artists, producers, with even releasing our own music ourselves. We can do anything that we want. But the standard with house music is to have the artist, the producer labeled as the artist, and the artist featured on the track. No, I wrote and vocaled the track. So, for example, my latest two singles that were released last week, because they're in the house genre, they're actually labeled under the producers' names, featuring me. So even if I've written, recorded it, my face is on the cover, but it's actually labeled as somebody else's track, and I'm the featured artist. And that is just an industry standard. No, it's something that's been highlighted, particularly last year for the BLM movement. A lot of Black vocalists are in house, and a lot of the tracks that you hear that are house and Afro house, or kind of very popular house, because it's still house music, the artist either isn't credited at all, or they're only credited as features. They're not credited on the slip or on the track as the songwriter or the vocalist. It only if they're labeled as a feature would you know who is actually singing the song. Other than that, it's the producer that's labeled, even though they're not the singer, even if they didn't write the song. Yeah.
That's so true. Now you say that, I'm thinking
So that
about
was a
when
new
I'm
experience
listening.
for me.
Wait, what?
No, but I'm thinking about it now. Like when I'm listening to like
If you think about
music,
any house
you don't really see who sings it. You know, you
It
just
could be
you
your
just see the
Heidi
name
flat
of
and
the
they
song.
don't even
No,
credit
but
you. Like,
you have to make
like you
a
should be given a
point.
note. They're not crediting you.
You have to make a point. I mean,
Even in the
you know,
videos, you'll see the DJs in the videos, but you won't necessarily see the vocalists in the videos.
no, that's madness. That's madness. You know, and especially if you
So
go
that's
to
something that was a real shock to my system going into that genre, because I expected everybody to know it was my song, except
Yeah, of
it
course.
doesn't always happen that way.
If you're the composer, and that is a real issue. That is a real problem. You know, that we need to address and
It is.
change. It seriously is. You know, because as well, when it comes to the royalties, you know, you need to ensure that you get
The
your point.
royalties, and with the royalties, you're credited. That's the thing. You're always credited as a singer and a songwriter. The music business side of it is handled perfectly. But when it comes to just the release of the track, yeah, exactly. It's always labeled the producer or the producer decides to bring the vocalist. So it then becomes the producer's song, and you have to then find out somehow, some way who the actual vocalist is. Sometimes the vocalist isn't even listed. It's just the producer's song.
So I mean
So
that
was for me.
That's like news to me with house music, because obviously in soca music it's slightly it is different. I mean, I haven't released any music where I am the vocalist and the composer, and I'm not listed on the production. My name first, no matter what.
you know. So it was a real shock to me that so they're then labeled as the artist.
Yeah.
You then get to control a lot of the things about the release. So that was a real shock to me. So if they have like a final artistic say in what happens with the release, like for example, artwork, how it's listed, how it reads on the track, any of that stuff then comes down to the main artist, who is then the producer, not necessarily the vocalist or the writer of the song.
Wow. Well, I mean,
it's a bit normally. Sorry, that normally that is how it is.
If you're an artist, if you're a female vocalist, but even the male vocalist,
that's how it is with dance and dance and house music, though. Because it's all about the beat. Somebody else in the group just said that. It's all about the beat. And I know that because people have asked me to do that with my songs, and I wouldn't be on there. They're just sampling my vocals to put on it, but it's all about the beat. And so like most of it's just the beat, and then a couple of vocals. So yeah, as an artist, you wouldn't really normally get picture and credited and, you know, face and stuff. So yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Okay, well, I learned something today. So that wouldn't be any music that I will be doing, because if you're not featuring my name and my face on it, I'm sorry.
As a producer, though, I do it.
That's something I have to negotiate. It's weird.
Yeah, for real. Thank you to everyone who has joined the live, and thank you for educating me in the comments. You know, DJ Styler has really educated me with all of this, and Fay, you as well. And I like this one. Janae said DJ Khaled featuring everybody. Yeah, that's true. He takes all the credit for himself.
DJ Khaled, it's DJ Khaled.
And he don't do nothing but say we the best music. That's all he does say. We the best music. We the best. We the best. You know, so it's like, come on now, you know. So, but this is really interesting. This is yeah. My goodness, I didn't really know about that, so now I know. What about you, other ladies? What other challenges have you faced in the industry? Anyone else want to start us off?
Um, I feel like when I first started back in what 2008, the challenges are very different to like now.
Mm,
I think definitely in the soca realm, um, ladies, we have like a good footing now. Like we have a good standing. But when I did start back then, it was very hard to just like get out there because it was very much heavily male dominated. And the females that were coming out weren't really seen as much. So we had like, well, for me, anyways, I can't speak for anybody else, but when I started, we just had the same kind of top female artists for a long time. We didn't have the new, like now that we go out and we see Patrice Roberts and we see Nyla Blackman and we see Nessa Preppy and all of that. When I started in 2008, it wasn't really as much females. So especially going around in Barbados, it was kind of like I felt like you had to fight your corner a bit more to like get on shows and like get your songs on radio. It was kind of like you had to fight a little bit more. And the route I took back then is that I had like a male representative that used to represent for me, and he used to like go around and push the music for me so that it came from a male. But flip to now, I don't have to do that.
mm.
I have females around me that can go and speak for my own music, or I could go and speak for myself. But back then I found like it was really hard in terms of trying to like just be taken seriously half the time. You know,
Yeah.
especially like when you're young and you look young as well and you're also female, is like, who's this little girl child trying to come and tell me to you want to come and do the show, or you want to come and do this. So it was like you really had to try and fight your corner a bit more. But I think now is a bit different, to be fair. I think our challenges now are completely different to what it was back then.
I find, and you know what? I'm glad you said that because I think so. I think that the challenges now are a bit different, and I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but certainly in my time, in my early days in the industry, it was extremely difficult to break into it. In terms of actually getting the music played on the radio. So, like when you said having a male actually go and try to promote your music, that's something that I had to try and do as well. Because when you go to the radio stations with your music, they're really not taking you on.
Yeah.
And if it is that you wanted your music to get played, I'd be really blunt. They would want to get in your pants. You
Right.
know, they would want to get up
Yeah.
under your skirt. You know, the
It's
DJs
true.
would want to get up under your skirt. The producers would want to get up under your skirt. Because
Mhm.
I know of quite a few unscrupulous producers, male producers, that in order for you to work with them,
Message.
you had to work on, they had to get up under your skirt. You
Yeah.
understand?
So
In order for you to perform at a show, the promoter wanted to get up under your skirt. You know, so it was really difficult because that's not what you're on. You're just on about making music. You want to perform your songs. You know you just want to be in the industry. You don't want to have to give up your dignity in order to do that. And I just wonder if that's still happening. And it's not just limited to music. I mean, even as a female MC myself, which again, the MC world is very male dominated. Um, I find challenges in terms of even being on a platform with certain males, in terms of like their whole attitude. Because again, I don't know if any of you have ever felt this, and I've certainly performed at shows where I'm like the only female on the bill,
Mm.
and the male artists make you feel a kind of way, like,
Like a nothing.
like
Yeah.
you're not
You,
really up there with
It's
them.
just there.
I will give
They're up
you a
there,
story. I
yeah,
will give
they're
you
up
a
there, and
story.
you kind of like down here, you know.
Uh,
So
No, but Giselle, I will give you a story because when I say the challenges is different now, I feel like we've got to a point in society where, yes, we're all respected, but sometimes you will go in shows and places where if you as a female stand your ground and be like, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm about, the comments that are made are ridiculous. Like I went to a show pre-pandemic, like maybe 2019 or something like that, and like the level of professionalism just wasn't there. It was kind of like I had asked for the most simple things, and you don't want to be labeled a diva or anything like that, but if you stay on a rider that you want a wireless mic and you turn up and there's no wireless mic and you're asking, where's this wireless mic and where is this and where is that, and then the promoter will turn around and he says to me, oh, well, are you on your period today? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
No.
Like, sorry, like I should have to be on my period to just ask for what I should be provided with in the first place. So it's those kind of challenges that I feel like we get more now, because I feel like as women we are seen a lot more and we're heard a lot more, but I don't know sometimes if we're taking seriously
the respect
on
is
the
not
same
there.
level.
Yeah. Bad manners. The respect is not there. I have
literally get to the point if you perform, if you don't, you don't. We don't care.
You know, I mean, and it's ridiculous. Even a simple thing as, like you said, Desire, even with the rider or even the dressing room, you know, down to the dressing room. I've been booked for shows where the things that are in other people's dressing room is not in my dressing room.
Yeah.
And if it is that other people feel that I have the better dressing room, they want my dressing room instead. No, it don't work so.
I've got a world of stories when it comes to. That's why I'm quiet, because I don't even
know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, like it's a lot, especially like that specific mic situation, as we're a duo.
I've been there with you,
like having wired mics when you're a performer that likes to move around the stage. Part of my talent is to dance. And also we're a duo. So if I've rehearsed a set where I have to move around the stage, the whole set is spoiled if you've agreed to have wireless mics and there's wires now and we're crossing each other and we could mash up our head on the floor.
But I've been shows with you, Nadine, where like they will come and like I've literally witnessed being on shows with Sun Divas and promoters coming and giving them a mic, and I'm like, bro, you know, there's two of them. Like, were they gonna share one mic?
One mic. We've had one mic. Yeah, so like basic things like that, and then you feel bad because I don't want to be seen as a diva, even though we're the Sun Divas, obviously. But like, there's different connotations of a diva, and our name's Sun Divas, but the way we portray ourselves and the way we carry ourselves, we expect people to understand the type of divas we are. We're not here to cause trouble or anything. So when you're at a show and there's an issue and you're asking for like what was agreed, it comes like before you even open your mouth, it's like, oh,
it's a problem. Here they go again.
So small things like that, and like things like I feel like specifically to soca in the UK, I feel like because UK based soca isn't that much in demand, especially when it comes to females. I mean, if it's not Desire, it's us, isn't it? All divine, like because it's not in such high demand. Sometimes you feel like you need to say yes to certain things just because you don't want to lose the booking. But to be fair, you can't lower your standards just because you want to be on the stage all the time. Sometimes you have to say, well, no, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
It's not just soca. It's not just soca.
It's 100% true.
No, that's correct.
I don't think it's just
soca. It definitely does happen. I mean, Natalia, have you had any challenges that you would like to share with us?
Well, it's difficult to get into the whole scene, especially if you do it from scratch. Like I have nobody around me actually sings this kind of music or is into music, so I had to like build everything from zero. And so everything I did was with the internet. Actually, I just got into everything and researched, and that's how I got into the whole live performance scene. And now, I mean, since many years, I perform like 2 to 4 times a week, and like that was before the pandemic. And so like for like 10 years, I've been performing a lot now, and now it's coming back again, but it's real difficult. Sometimes like you have like people that take care of your mic, the technicians, and then they suddenly, you know, turn off the mic from the guitarist because they don't like him or something, and then, you know, you don't have your backing vocals, and you know, it's just like, why? You know, I mean, we're all grown-up people, you know, so they're different things. Yeah.
Do you think that it's just easier to show disrespect to female artists and performers than it is a male? Do you think, and this is for everybody, and even those who are watching live and in the comments, you know, because like Janae is talking about, you know, she's a cosmetologist and she's received massive disrespect. Do you think that it's just easier to dish out this disrespect because we're females?
Yeah,
I think to a degree. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
They think that we're just receptive, so we're passive. We won't give it back. They might not get a backlash. I was told that I was singing backing vocals for that he chose me because I was calmer than the other vocalist that he knew.
Wow.
So
But what's also difficult, like if you know, like I sometimes perform with my dancers, and they have like those nice costumes, the carnival costumes, and then you know, like they sometimes really behave disrespectful especially against the dancers, and you know, like because they just look so pretty and they just, you know, want to take pictures, and sometimes, you know, you really have to take care and make sure that they can go backstage if they want to, you know, because it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, we definitely need to stand up and change this. I mean, I have to give props to an artist that I have a lot of respect for, and that's Spice. Spice has been receiving a lot of BS from promoters, and what I like about her is that she calls it out. She will jump on her Instagram and she will call that shit out, you know. And we have to get into the habit of doing that. I mean, her last thing, she was taking a break because it was just too much, but the amount of disrespect I've seen that artist receive from male promoters is ridiculous, you know. And I really applaud her for standing her ground, and I think the message to all of us here and everybody who's watching, and all female artists, is really to stand your ground, because you know, you can't lower your standards. And if something as simple as a microphone, I mean, come on, to be honest, in this day and age, we shouldn't even be using corded mics. It should be cordless. I mean, come on, this is 2023. We need to actually make corded mics obsolete, just like flash camera obsolete. You know, that little camera where you have the, you know, that's obsolete, and a Walkman is obsolete. We need to make corded mic obsolete now. You know, that's ridiculous. So I think
the question is, but Giselle, if we, so I always see Spice naming and shaming and calling out, but I feel like collectively for the UK soca artists, like this industry is so small. Like if we want to like say a word, that's it. You know, the blacklist done. We can. How you mean? How you mean? You can't. I feel. I don't know for everybody else, but me personally, I would be very apprehensive to really call out people. Like if I was to, I could have a book. I would write a book, right? But like you just can't really call out people like that. The industry is already so small. You're already trying to get shows as it is, because promoters here will fly in soca artists from all over the world. They will fly them in, pay for their flights, pay for the hotels, pay for per diem, pay for transport to and from the show, and pay for the stage show. But then they will still look at us same artists here and be like, oh, well, we ain't really got a lot of money, so maybe y'all should come and do it for free for exposure. And I'm like, so it's like, and you can't really call people out because they're the only ones putting on the shows. There's nobody else. So like, it's a hard one to do. Like with Spice, she could call a few people out. She called about 50 million other shows line up. But for like us, we're like,
Spice calls people out after they've paid her the deposit, which she ain't giving back. Which she ain't giving back. So
but but for us, I feel like sometimes we have to take that L until you get to a stage where, I mean, for me personally, I feel like sometimes I have to take that L until I get to a point where I have multiple shows every single weekend that I could be like, you know what, whatever. I mean, I know in terms of like payment and stuff like that. Like, that's why loads of people always say, oh, Desire, I don't see you on all these shows, because I've just made it a standard for myself that I'm not doing any shows for free. I'm not doing any shows for exposure. It's just not happening. So if it's a case that you don't see me at a show, that's why. You just won't see me. But that's just my own personal standard. And I don't need to call out promoters to do that, because I can make that decision myself. But like, when you go to a show now and you get the disrespect and you get all of this, it's kind of like, you had to go all through this just to go on the stage for like 5-10 minutes is
exactly
so annoying. But you can't really say much, because the industry, especially here in the UK, is so small that
but you
everyone
have to
really
say
name and shame.
something. You don't have to be disrespectful. You understand? But you have to say something, because
no, I definitely say to the promoter, but I would not name and shame publicly.
You wouldn't go and blast them on Instagram like
no. It's a stand for something or fall for anything kind of mentality.
So it doesn't matter how nice you say it, you're gonna be a bitch. She's a bitch just because she wants a bottle of water. Like obviously when artists come over, you get them their drink, everything, and then we go, and then there's not even a bottle of water. And you ask for water, and you're being a diva because you ask for water.
That is lack of due diligence by the part of the team for the promoter. Because I wouldn't blame the promoter wholly and solely, because normally if you're promoting a show, you're supposed to have a team, and the bigger the show is, the bigger your team is. You know, so you have to have people who look after that. I mean, that's happened to me as well. I've been booked for events and I didn't even have a bottle of water, and I'm thinking, but what do you? Okay.
I was going to say too, because I bring a sound person with me, and it's a man, so he will stick up for me, and he'll make sure, like, he calls people out. Oh, she needs this, and that really has helped me. Eventually, I would love all women, team with me too. But for right now, I have a man who does all my sound for shows and stuff too. And when I was touring with a band too, that's what we would do as well. So that does help. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard out in these streets.
It is, and I mean, you do have to, because and then sometimes again, as you know, like Styler and Davis is saying in the comments, it is the team as well as the promoters. Sometimes you just have to tell them, because sometimes again their head is in, and this is me on the other side of the fence, where their head is all over the place, and therefore certain things get missed, because they will tell somebody, you need to put water in the dressing room, you need to do this, you need to do that. And if it is that they're not on that person, they wouldn't know that person hasn't done it. Because I've approached and I said, oh, where's my water? And if it is that I'm doing vocals, my water has to be room temperature. You cannot give me cold water when I'm going to perform. It has to be room temperature or warm water. You understand? And sometimes and that's happened to me. And I said, so where's my water? And they said, oh, I told so-and-so to get it. They didn't bring it to you. And I said, no. So I ain't giving licks to the promoter all the time.
Yeah,
you understand? Because
we pick up the good promoters as well. Like we pick up the good promoters, because I would say like a lot of the big events in the UK, like soca wise, or even outside of soca, like most of them have that sort of thing sorted, because they're usually organizing it for the bigger artists, and most of them extend that respect to artists that are here. So it's not all bad at all. However, a lot of our shows, some of the smaller shows, some of the shows where they want you to come for exposure and things like that, that's the same places you will have most of the issues, from my experience. That's why it's just to get paid and just have the rule and done.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I mean, Davis is making a good point. He's saying broaden the platform and form an alliance that sets the standards and give support to artists that's formidable. We need to. I mean, we've been talking about this. I know certainly in the soca circles, we've been talking about a sort of union, some sort of body, some sort of organization, artist representation type stuff, and I think that's something that is definitely needed. And we could probably start a movement ourselves here. We don't need to wait on anyone. Davis, you put the idea out there, Coco P, we're going to take it and run with it. So you open your mouth. Let's do it. Just like these ladies, they wanted to get into music and start singing, and they just did it. Let's do it. So talk done. Coco, I will contact you. We're gonna do it.
And We did start something like that before, but it fell apart. It was like a WhatsApp group. We met once, and that was the end of it.
Oh
Remember,
yes,
Desire?
That was
Yes,
it.
we did.
yes. I was now gonna say yes. I
Let's
remember.
do it. And then it fell apart.
Yeah.
That was
But it
it.
wasn't
Yeah.
done. It wasn't done properly. What kind of Mickey Mouse thing is that? With just a WhatsApp?
No, I think it was whoever the people that was organizing it. I don't
Right.
think that
Yeah,
they
the
had like
organisers.
followed through.
They were
That
male,
wasn't
weren't
their
they? I think they were
vision.
men.
It
They were
wasn't their
men. They were
vision.
men.
It was just somebody
They
that
were
they
men.
were trying.
Right. Okay, I see. I see. All right, so cool. So in terms of your career so far, so we talk about challenges. Does anyone have a worst moment that they would like to share where something so bad happened? I mean, you don't have to name and shame. You don't have to call names, but has anything happened, whether it be like you were going to perform or you were booked to perform and you didn't perform or something like that? What has been like one of your worst moments in your career to date? Everybody get quiet.
It's silence. Yeah, bushweed.
I'm trying to think.
I
I
don't
don't think I've
know.
had. I don't think I've had any like worst moments.
Uh,
I don't know.
I'll give you an example. I was competing in a national competition in Trinidad, and it was very high profile, and I was competing against some of the best calypsonians and artists in Trinidad, including the late great singing Sandra, my mentor. Um, and it was a big moment in my career. And I had an accompaniment, a panist who was accompanying me for my performance for that competition. And he didn't turn up.
What?
He didn't turn up. And I'm getting ready to go on stage. And this, I mean, everybody was saying, when you have a good song and you have a really good chance of actually making it big in terms of like coming in the top 5, and the judges are there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, where is this guy? And he messaged me saying, oh, he running late and ting. And I'm like, I'm about to go on stage. You don't understand how serious this is, and he turned up after I performed. And then to add salt in my wounds, after the competition, after the competition, the judges, 2 of the judges came to me and said that it's a shame that my accompaniment didn't turn up because I would have been in the top 5. But because of that, the performance was lacking, because that was a key component, and therefore I didn't make the top 5. I was so gutted. I was really, really gutted. That was one of my worst moments. I was like, oh God, why? Of all nights, why? So yeah.
And then right after you perform, that's the worst too, that they show. So mine was similar to that too, where the sound person didn't have the cables for my keyboard when I was performing. So that I just you could hear me singing, but you couldn't hear the keys. So there was something like that too. It's always the sound or something.
Oh my gosh.
So I feel for you. I understand it completely.
And when it's like a big moment, and it's like this is your shot. These kind of opportunities don't come around. So and it's like, oh gosh, why?
I just thought of one actually. And again, like you, it was somebody else's fault. So I was on tour with Yara Bravo, who's a rapper, and we were in Switzerland. I think it was Switzerland, and we were supporting Rah Digger, the rapper, the big famous rapper from America. So we were really, really excited because this was the biggest show, because we were supporting her as one of the biggest artists. And just before we were about to go on, they had a little break in the music, and our DJ was going to go up on stage first and warm up the crowd, and then we as the vocalists were going to come up on the stage after her. And as she was approaching the stage, this drunk guy thought she was a guy and clocked her right in the jaw and knocked out her tooth.
Oh no.
What?
That was the whole show. Shut down the whole venue. The whole venue shut down.
Oh my god.
That's so
Yeah,
random.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Dang.
The promoter didn't have any security at the venue.
Oh.
The drunk guy stayed in the venue. No one could remove him. So there was no security to protect any of the women in the venue from this drunk dude who was just going wild. He was going, and I mean, at least 5 people dived on this guy to stop him rampaging the stage. He was up on the stage. They had to take him by the legs to get him off the stage.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So wait now, hold on. He's Hulk Hour. He had 5 people on top of him and they still couldn't get him off the stage.
Yeah,
Really?
he was that drunk. Seriously,
You had that like
I don't know what he was drinking, but boy,
He has superpowers.
it gave him. It took 5 dudes to take him down. It took 5 guys to stop him.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the worst, and we never got to perform.
Gosh. Yeah, well, that happened to me as well, where we didn't get to perform. We were booked. I was singing with a band. We were booked to perform, and all of the other acts, the stage management was just wasn't good. Nothing was running on time. And when it was our time to perform, they tell us, "Oops, sorry, nope, you have no time." And I'm like, "Are you serious? This is the full band. The band these musicians come from all over just to come and perform for you guys, and then you're telling me, you're an out of time." Nah, man.
Wow.
Nah, man. That's not good. We have a question from the audience from Davis. Giselle, my question: what is that motivation that keeps you, the female artist, doing what you do, given some of these compounding issues? Very good question. Anybody wants to answer that? I pretty know what the answer is going to be, but yeah, you tell me. What keeps you going despite all of these challenges?
I think the simple answer is because we love what we do and we do what we love. That is it. There's no be all end all. That's what we do. It doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't grow us hair. It doesn't get my edges back.
Yeah.
We do what we love because we love what we do.
Yeah.
So that is literally it. We do it because we love to perform. We love to see people happy of what we create, and we love to create stuff that make people happy. So that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm ready for my accolades, guys.
Yeah, man.
It's hard because you've got to keep going because you love it. Because
there's no other choice.
There's challenges everywhere in your music. Going to the studio, I don't know if anybody else getting your music just a simple mix and master is a problem. You can't even say that you don't like this how something sounds is a problem, and that's why most of the time I move around a lot with producers, because as soon as they want to sleep with you or they got attitude every time because you're not allowed to say you don't like how your song sounds. So I just move on, because I have had one incident where obviously I was meant to perform and I was supposed to be called on stage and I practiced with the band and everything, and then when it got to the time, the artist who thinks he was so big, he didn't call me on stage. Yeah, didn't come on stage, and obviously, a lot of people had come to see me perform, and that could have destroyed me, because I obviously didn't have enough confidence as it would. I didn't already, and I was I felt like everybody else, all the other people backstage knew I was there to sing. Why are you not on stage, Divine? Why are you Well, because that mother effer didn't call me up when it was my turn to sing.
Yeah,
and I huh?
Oh no!
So wait, you didn't just go up on the mic and on the stage and start to sing?
I'm not brave like that. I mean, maybe Spice would have done that. I don't know, but I could have saying the same thing. You could have named and shamed and all that kind of thing. But I didn't. But the rest of the time, because this was in Barbados, I got to perform at a bigger show anyway. I did TV stuff and all that. But that one incident, it was you know what I mean? I think it was because you wouldn't have done it to a male artist, but because of a female, that's why you did it. So, well, most of the time,
it have female on female too. I don't know if any of you ever experienced it, where other female artists throwing shade at you, where to perform at an event.
All the time.
Other female artists throwing shade. I mean, I remember
Luckily,
real
not me, because I like to fight.
incident
So no, not me.
in Trinidad at a big show where it had big bacchanal between Destra and Denise Belfort. After that big bacchanal, they become good friends, but it had big bacchanal because Denise was supposed to perform before Destra, and Destra run up on the stage, take the mic, and start to perform. So I don't know if anybody ever had an experience like that.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, but like not with me. With like, I'm not naming them, but one of the artists you just said, I was like caught in between their fight, like the same sort of madness. That's so random. I thought I was gonna get beat up at that point. I was like, yo, I'm trying to go down the stairs. Allow me, please. Let me pass.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with this beef.
Don't let the D lie to you. She turns up late all the time, yeah. So we have to let her go last.
Who?
Who?
Was that
you?
Me?
No, the thing. You turn up late all the time.
Me? When was the last time we were on a show together?
I don't know.
Let me did the UK
in church.
Huh?
That one time in church.
In church.
But we love everything, so expect it. We know they're coming late. It's fine.
Yeah,
They're like the baby. They're like the babies of the UK soca stuff. So we love them in it, and they get away with being naughty. But we love them in it. We sincerely love them.
Yeah, we love
sure.
Because you're
crazy. And it was worse. They come looking so cute. They come looking so cute and innocent. So you're like, oh,
always.
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Cute and innocent.
She's making this about Sun Divas. It's cool that we got
it's not this. Look, it's true. But they're so cute, so we allow them because they're so
okay. Well, bless your little cotton socks then.
They're the most cutest, naughtiest artists, but they're so cute. They're so cute.
We are not naughty. Giselle, we're not naughty.
Of course, not at all. You lot are angels. That's what I'm saying. Bless your little socks,
They're angels, but they get away.
Of course.
I love them. But
Kendra's saying female artists basically hate a good competition. Really, if we go on before and mash up, is always a problem to some females. Well, to some females. For me, if you go on before me and mash up, I'm using that energy to mash up.
I'm carrying it along.
You understand? I'm taking that energy and I'm mashing it up fine like chili baby. You feel your bad? All right. Get the audience hype for me. Yeah. You understand? That's how you have to look at it. If somebody going on there, at least by the time you go on, the audience is already built. As long as you go on straight after them, you just ride on that energy. If it have a lull, then you have to work a little harder. Because people, when they reach that level, and if it have a lull after, then they go come down. So you have to now go and bring them back up. But for me, I don't mind performing after a big artist. I love it because them going and hype up the crowd. If Patsy going and perform, I want to perform after Patsy because after Patsy don't drink water and mind she business, I coming out there to mash up. So don't feel it. If you want the cast with a big artist, say yes, I want to go after them. Don't ever go before a big artist. Always go after. Nadiva looking scared. Nadiva, no. Don't go after. Go after.
No, I'm like Giselle, like wow. I just love the confidence. It's the confidence for me. I love it.
So, ladies, tell me, do you really think that there is enough support for female artists?
Now there is, definitely.
Yeah?
No.
Say that, Faye.
No, I do think so.
Where's the support? Let me see. I don't see no support.
Do whatever you want to do right now. You can create whatever you want to create. When it comes to if you get good promotion, if you get a decent label behind you, if you have that, I guess, foundational support, then the support from the fans will come. People, and again, like if you have that great song that people love, people will jump on your bandwagon, so to speak. It does happen. We see so many artists do it, even though I think specifically for the UK, it's difficult mainly because racially, whatever the genre is, there's literally usually only one black female in there. If it's pop, there's only one. If there's R&B in the UK, there's only one. I think that's more of the problem, is the lack of diversity that holds us back here, not necessarily the lack of support. Because when you look at all the other genres of music in the UK, even like grime right now, look at how big Lady Leisure is and the support that she gets. And so there are examples of very, very good artists here getting great support in different genres. I just don't think there's enough artists that are allowed to break through here, me personally. I think that's what the problem is, more than the fact that women aren't doing it. Because we are. There are women everywhere doing everything. I just think...
But with UK soca, we have to work a lot harder. We as female artists, I know guys, you back me up. We have to work hard.
It's really, really difficult to get through when it comes to jazz.
We have to work hard.
Yeah, very, very hard.
I think
UK neo soul singers can you name?
It's true. I think, I mean, I can't really speak to that genre, I guess, because I'm not really like fully immersed in it. But I definitely hear you when you say, like, especially when it comes to most genres of music, there is always that one person that's leading at the moment in time. But to UK soca, to say, like, obviously that's the industry I'm in, I think we go through these years and cycles of chicken and the egg, because I have conversations all the time of how does the music get big? Is it the artist? Is it the DJ? And I'm still very much under the understanding of society as people in the world. We don't know what we want until we have it. Does that make sense? So my prime example is like LMA. LMA had booed up for 2 years before that song bust. That song was out for years before it became big. Radio played it and played it and played it and fed it to the audience because they were like, this is what you want. And no one knew that they wanted the song. They probably heard it before. They might have heard it on a playlist. They might have heard it anywhere. But the radio, the DJs, the clubs, everyone fed the audience the song. And then they liked it. So when it comes to UK soca, and especially female artists in the UK soca scene, I don't feel like there's enough support in terms of how the DJs are feeding the audience our music. And yes, we're living in a digital age where we can get streams. Like Sun Divas have tens of thousands of streams on their songs on Spotify, but that doesn't translate to us going into the club and hearing it. That doesn't translate to me going and listen to a mixtape and hearing it. So it is kind of a thing of, if we are being found organically, that's great. Like, we can pay our bills off of the streams and off of all the streams accumulated together. That's fine. But when you're now talking about busing in a club, like busing and going on stage and getting performances and touring, that's where the support is lackluster, because the DJs are not pushing it here. They don't play it here. They don't go there. And if you even have to, like, sometimes you had to be messaging and call. I can't speak for everybody else, but when I release a song, I gotta be messaging DJs personally, like, yo, I sent the song, have you got the song, and blah blah blah. They'll say you got the song. You'll say, yo, can you play the song? They will play the song, but they will play it like just because. They won't give it the same pull up and the fire sounds and the bomb sounds like they would for a Marshall or a Patrice.
Yeah, they won't give it the same forward.
They'll just give it like a little 20-second spin and be like, yeah, and move off. So I think, especially for the UK soca artists and the female ones specifically, I don't feel like we get enough support on that side. And I feel like if the songs were played in a good way and often enough, then we would have a bit more support there. People would know. Like, for instance, when Carnival Slayers posted this up, some girl was in the comments and was like, yo, I didn't even know there was female soca artists here. And I was like, wow.
Okay,
like,
wow.
That's like, to me, that's crazy. But like, obviously, if you are in circles and going out to clubs and you're not hearing it. You don't hear it, and it's not getting the same support and push. So I think for us, that is definitely where it is at. And I think for other genres, is a bit different. I think for soca we suffer more so of it because our music is consumed by popularity. The Caribbean is a popularity industry, whereas the art like R&B and bashment and all the rest of it is a bit more grassroots. So the audience will say what they want and the DJs have to follow suit. Whereas in soca is the other way around. Like the DJs have now become the artists. So they are literally telling the narrative. So if you're not on board with the DJs, then you're not part of that narrative. So that's why
and just to add to that,
good to know. It's really, really good to know. Always good to hear somebody else's perspective from a different genre. That's excellent. I did not know that. So it's a bit like the house scene. So now you're totally reliant upon these DJs to push you and push you and push you.
Yeah, and if you're not different and you're not willing to let them up your skirt is a different story. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me just put this out there to you, to you ladies. What do you say to the criticism that promoters and DJs would level at you, saying, "Well, your music is not good enough. It's just not on the same level as other artists"? Because I hear
that stage so long ago. They used to use that excuse so long ago. It's like. So then we start using the same producers that the big artists are using, and what's your problem now then? Do you know what I mean? Everything's good quality. All the music I hear coming out is good quality. But for me, I'm finding that they're playing all the UK male artist songs, but they're not playing ours. Like I'm hearing them in the fets. The DJs are playing them. They're bigging them up. They're in the fets, and then they're bringing the artists up to sing piece of the song.
I don't know. I don't know if that's so true. The one thing I would say is that I don't hear UK soca music played across the board, period. The only song that I hear is the Trini Boy Bottle Overhead, and let's be real, that's because that song busts outside, and now everybody is following the narratives of the bigger DJs who created that narrative that song is a good song, and it is a great song, right? But I've had people like me and Sun Divas are on the same rhythm. We are on
rhythm
BP
with
Soca Rhythm
as well.
Yeah, BP Soca Rhythm that was produced by Bad Drum Republic, and it was written by Daryl, who writes for Kes and Patrice and all of the rest of them. So this song is a good song. I spoke to a UK DJ, one of the top UK DJs here, and I said, "Why y'all not playing the song? It doesn't have to just be my song on the rhythm. Like, why y'all not playing the rhythm?" And he said, "Well, boy, I just find that the song ain't hitting, and it's not got this and not got that, and I think that y'all need to like go and work with like bigger people." So when I broke it down and I said, "Well, the song produced out of Trinidad, it written out of Trinidad. These are people that working with big people," and then it's, okay, well, I just find that I didn't like it for me, but you're lying. Because it's not that you didn't like it for you. It's just that no one told you that is a good song yet. And that goes back to my narrative of people don't know what they want until they're told.
Yeah, can I just add? Like, I find that our music is appreciated. So obviously me and Sunshine have been to St. Vincent. We've done a lot of work out there, like 2 years in a row. We went out to St. Vincent to push our music. And the sort of like the infrastructure is different. So I know like we look at it as, the DJs aren't playing our music, but in the Caribbean, you have radio, and radio, everybody hears it. The kids who get in the school bus, the people on their way to work, as they wake up in the morning, they turn on the radio when they're having their shower and eating their breakfast. Like, you cannot avoid the radio. So whatever is played, that's what people are going to know. So we were in St. Vincent for like a month at a time. And by week 2, my song was playing on the radio, cash, normal, like it's a normal Vincey song. I would get stopped. People knew exactly who we were. People knew the song, and people appreciated it as a regular Vincey soca tune. And there was no sort of like, I'm not sure if this is good, because people don't really know the history of it. Sometimes they say familiarity. What's the there's like a phrase for familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah. So like, I feel like when people are too familiar, they don't treat you like, just this artist with a song. They look at you different. And I feel like that's what we suffer from over here a little bit, as well as the fact that we don't have that same radio structure. I mean, when I was in St. Vincent, I was at a show with Patrice Roberts, and she was singing Millie Wop to me. Patrice Roberts was singing my song to me because she probably heard it in the cab on the way to her show. Let's be real. Because your music doesn't get heard here because it's not playing on. It's not playing on Kiss. It's not playing on Capital or on Station. You might get the one-off play. Like we always get the one-off play every carnival season. Desire, you be on BBC.
Yeah.
We always get the one-off play,
Yeah.
but that is not going to engage and entice the audience long term. August is always our busiest season. We get bare shows in August. We're very busy. But then what happens after August? Do you know what I mean?
And that,
But to add to that, though,
the music being seasonal. Yeah, go ahead, Desire.
No,
Now,
but
I
to
wanna
add
come
to that is that in the Caribbean, like their structure is the radio, but to us here in the UK as our industry, our structure is what
The
we're hearing
DJs.
on our club scene, on our pirate
mixtapes.
radios, on our mixtapes. So if we was being pumped in that on a regular basis, it would just be normal. It shouldn't have to be a case of that we need to be begging, and I think that's where the lack of support comes, because same with like Sun Divas, even like Divine, like we back in our home countries is no problem, you know, like we go home and song play on radio though, like is not a problem to get songs on radio. Like you go home and it's just a norm, like, oh, you got a soca song, bet I'm gonna play it. But like here it's like,
well,
oh
I
God,
could
I
say,
don't know if you
that
play it.
Trinidad, like here, yeah, it's in like Barbados and St. Vincent. Trinidad to get your music on radio in Trinidad is a hard struggle. Let me just come to solutionary one. What's your name again? Sorry,
It's Stephanie.
Stephanie, right?
Yes.
That easier for me to manage, Stephanie. I can say solutionary one as well, but Stephanie
Yes.
sound a little better. Stephanie, do you find that same issue out in California?
So I'm on a record label, and I think they really did help push for like radio play. But I was in all, like we were talking about DJs, like I follow all these DJs. I'm in their DMs, like, hey, play, this is my new song that's out to you. And then they have ways that they play things as well. And I think that really, really does help. But yes, getting like played over and over again and like making people listen to your music is definitely really, really hard. But I definitely owe it to the DJs, honestly. Like I work with a lot of music blogs. I wrote up to a lot of music blogs, which gets music out there. That really helped me a lot. And then having a record label really did help get me more exposure for my music. But yeah, the radio is where it's at, and it's very hard to get in there and say, hey, I'm the best and you should be playing me all the time. So like I said, I like connect with all the DJs. I have a radio station here, KCRW, that's like more independent. I've connected with everybody from there. I also connect with just all the DJs all over the country and all over the world. And then I make sure when I release things or get them excited about it before it. My most recent release was just released on Tough Kong. So I don't know if they are promoting that release on the radio, but we have done like interviews and did a lot of promotions on like music blogs and stuff. And I know that has helped. But yeah, it's just always nonstop working and trying to get connected with people. For me, honestly, it was kind of random, but I messaged somebody that does the music on airplanes. And I got on the airplane, like when you go on the airplane and you can listen to music, that like honestly was the best thing I've ever done. And I'm super thankful for that. That got me, like, people were like, oh, I listened to you on United Airlines. And I'm like, that's so random, but awesome. So I think that really did help. So, I mean, just getting everywhere. I'm on Spotify. I'm on all the Apple Music. I'm on everything. So just having all those places to be on is really amazing. And then also just on the back end, because nobody's going to promote you as much as you unless you got a really good manager or a PR person. But I'm out here every time, like promoting everything weeks beforehand, writing blogs, writing to DJs, doing all that. behind the scenes too.
Yeah, no, that's really great, and I like, you've given everybody an idea. You have to think outside the box. Who would have thought putting your music on an airplane playlist? So we have to look at different means and ways and different areas of where you can get heard. Natalia, does your music get played in Switzerland?
Yes, yes, like different channels, but there aren't too many like soca channels. So I try to like sometimes I have some songs that are kind of pop soca, so I can still have it in there. But it's difficult to like find the right style, and yeah, so not all of the songs get airplay. Yeah.
And what about in Trinidad? Does it get played in
Oh
Trinidad?
yeah, no problem over there. Yeah, because as soon as I come and I'm like, I have a new song, and then I just send it around. Yeah. Yeah, the people I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay, cool. That's really good. I mean, what about you, Joe? What is your strategy to getting your music out there?
First of all, it's finding the unmute button. I have to push. I have to push very hard. I have to literally push and push and push and push. I have to speak to people. I have to go to places. And I'm not a very out there person. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be doing too much. I don't want to be too social. But obviously in this industry, you have to be around in all these places and all these vets and all these vibes and talk to all these DJs that sometimes you don't want to be at. So my focus is not my focus. That's not my focus. My focus is if it's meant to be, then it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my focus, like, if it works, it works. Everything I do may not be for everybody right now, but one day it's going to be for somebody. And that's so my thing is, if it works, it works. I'm cool in the background right now. I'm cool.
Yeah.
When it comes to time that I need to do something extra, I win. So it's fine.
No, that's cool, man. I just want to put it out there because we have some promoters and producers and stuff on the live watching and joining in. So welcome to everybody. Don't forget to share the live and thank you for joining us. I just want to put it out there, and I have to give props to Natia. I remember I was talking to the show's producer before when she asked me to host tonight, and I was saying that Natia did an initiative some years ago called, with Live Love Soca. Desire, you were part of it. Divine, you were part of it. And it was an all-female show. And ever since that, we've never had another one. And it was amazing. It was great. And I just want to put it out there. We need a promoter. I'm looking into my camera now. You, whoever is out there, we need a promoter. We want to do another all-female show. This is Women's Month. We need another all-female show. I am willing to co-work with a promoter to make this happen. When we did it, it was fantastic. We need another one, and it would be nice to have women singing different genres of music. So like Fay, for you example, having you on there. Natalia, if you're in London, we need to get together and do this. This is long overdue. It is much needed. So I'm just putting the challenge out there. Big Bad saying he nominated Coco. Big Bad, you causing a whole set of trouble in the comments whole night talking about, oh, you lose your edges and all kind of thing. If you like, yeah, I see you, But yeah, we definitely need to do that. So I think, ladies, we probably need to have a little chat as well offline for us to try and make this happen. And Coco, definitely, I will be contacting you. So I just want to say it has been really, really excellent. I don't know if anybody who is looking at the live has any more comments for any of our lovely ladies. I mean, I have a lot of respect, and I 100% support you all to continue doing what you're doing. Don't give up. You've come this far, just keep going, and it will happen. Don't lower your standards. Don't be afraid to put your foot down when you've been disrespected, basically. And just really keep going, keep investing in yourself and investing in your craft as well, because it's an ongoing process. But I'm just waiting to see if anybody else has any questions that they want to ask any of the ladies. speak now or forever hold your peace. Anybody who is watching, they're here and they're ready. You could ask them anything. Well, no, not anything. Don't ask them the personal business. But
While you're waiting for the question, can I just say to everybody watching who's watching live now that y'all need to come out on the 24th and the 26th of this month to see me, Sun Divas. Divine's gonna be there. Giselle, you gonna be there too? You coming down?
What's this?
Midnight? This is for the Calypso tent. The return of the Calypso tent is gonna be live Calypso and soca with the ABC band. Is gonna be live. It's gonna be good. It's from 7:30 on the 24th, so that's Thursday, and the 26th, that's Saturday. It's gonna have us three. Desire, me. Oh, I'm Desire. I'm reading my name like Desire. No, that's me. Me, Sun Divas, Divine. We're gonna be up in that. Like, y'all need to come out and support that one. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, good. Well, good. Where is it gonna be? What's the location?
At the Tabernacle.
At the Tabernacle.
7:30.
Okay, so admin, if we could just put that up there at the Tabernacle, W11 2AY in London on Thursday the 24th and Friday the 26th.
No, Saturday
the 26th of March.
But wait, are you trying to tell me that you don't know about this?
No, it's not. I don't know.
I thought that you was on. I thought you was there.
Nah,
I don't know. I thought you was there.
No, I know. I never see she at any of the shows.
I will be. I will see at other events.
Okay, Giselle.
But I just want to pick up how Giselle is like a whole map that you just drew off the postcode for Tabernacle off the top of your head. Like, I just want to tell you up that. That was props.
I don't even know it.
I don't know it.
Performing there, I didn't even know the place. But what did you look?
I know it's called the Tabernacle. I don't know
the postcode.
Carnival Village, innit? They call it that as well, innit? Don't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's where Carnival Village headquarters is, guys. That I have long history with that place, so I must know the postcode off the top of my head. Any other events that anybody is performing at or has coming up that you want to share? Natalia, yes.
Well,
yes.
I just want to say,
go ahead.
I'm part of the Europe Soca Monarch competition, and if you like, listen to my song proper. If you like it, please vote.
Yeah.
Tell us how
it's all on IG, Facebook, everywhere. You will find it on YouTube. Yeah.
So what you need to do, so tell us what your IG handle is. So do we go on your page and vote for you? How do we vote?
Yeah, you can go on my page, that's Natalia Music, or you can go on the competition website, that's EUK/Soca/Monarch, and that's on Instagram, or EUKSM.com. That's the website. Yeah, that's easy to remember. And then you can just go and vote there. Yeah. Or you can write a message.
Everybody make sure you go and vote for Natalia. EU Soca Monarch is coming up. We want to support the thing. We want to support the female artists. So we're going out and vote for Natalia.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any events coming up?
No, but someone said for us to give out our handles, so you can find all Sun Divas music on every platform at Sun Divas. We've also got a profile for Sunshine and Nadiva, which have some of our older music. So check us out and check out every female artist here. I think everyone goes by their name.
So what we should do, very importantly, is we should go by church.com and listen to the repentance of. Sorry.
Wow. you need Jesus. Yeah.
Well, unless he's in Soca, I can't find him, so I'm not sure.
Jolene is on.
I'm telling you, but she had everybody quiet listening to her.
Okay.
I was listening and knowing that Jolene was going to come out with some next thing.
I was real listening, like, what's she
But check me out at Joe Gets Money. Come along, have a good time. 2 Flag Creations, costume designs. Let's go. This year, it's going to be a very good year for everyone. I wish you the best. This year is a female comeback year. Do your stuff, work hard. Giselle, we see you pushing out tag. We see you doing your tag.
Hey.
Yeah, Giselle, thank you so much. You're an amazing vocalist. I love you. So, stay amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been meaning to jump back in the studio and do some releases because people say, "What happened, Giselle? You ain't singing again or what?" But no, I am. I am. So
Can you
can
book
expect some
a
some-
Women Festival in Southern California? Let's do one out
festival?
here. Come out here and do a festival out here too.
Oh my God! Can I come? I want to come. I love California.
Don't worry, darling. Coco got you. Coco had deep pockets. Coco go sponsor we to go California.
And that's all go. Coco,
Yeah, follow
you, Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Yeah.
Coco pulling a show in California.
But you see how quiet Coco's gone though? He's quiet now.
I was quiet. I was quiet.
Proper good. Proper good.
So Friday just gone, just to let you know, Friday just gone, I had 2 back-to-back releases, 2 Afro House back-to-back releases. Thank you. I also had my highest charting release on the Track Source charts, put to number 2 in the top 100.
Wow!
Nice. So the song is called Burning, and it's DJ Fiddler featuring Fay Simon. So check Burning out because I put in a little Grenadian thing down in there. So I gave him a little source of the.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it.
If I can find it, it's behind me. I've been sitting on the flag glass.
Oh, that's good.
So if you can check out Burning, that was the biggest, baddest one. And then also You Don't Know Me, which is DJ Sean Ashby featuring the Afro Fairy, which is one of my AKAs.
All right, get him Fairy, okay.
Oh, well done.
So thank you everybody.
Oh, that's excellent.
Everyone can just follow me at Miss Desire Artist. I think is Miss Desire Artist on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where I tweet all my foolishness. If you really want to go there, let's go there. And it's Miss Desire on all streaming platforms. So yeah, y'all can follow me there and just be social and be nice. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Be nice people. And
be nice. Not fake nice. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Not plastic smile nice, you know?
No.
Yeah. We don't want the plastic smile. Just to say, everyone, don't forget, one of the sponsors for Slayers Hot Sauce and Extra Hot Sauce is Glow Dazzle. Go and check them out. They sponsored my makeup and my lashes tonight. They are on Instagram as glow.dazzle. So really do go and check them out. And also, don't forget, I have to plug it. GMI, Gems Mass International, the biggest band on the road for Carnival all year. You understand? We had the band launch where everybody was at the band launch, and the costumes are fire. So make sure and come out. Notting Hill, the return after 2 years. You understand? We had to pepper that road.
I love that. Pepper the road. Yes.
Understand? When we done with that road, it's like problem child say we go mash it up and buy back. We had to mash it up and then buy it back.
Yes.
So you don't know. After 2 years and no carnival, honestly, it go be fire. So make sure and follow Gems Mass International, aka GMI on Instagram, and make sure and book your costume. So what about your costume? I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. All you beautiful ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. To the producer, thank you for asking me to host. Again, condolences and much love out to Abs and her family. I'm looking forward to all of the music you guys are going to be producing. I will definitely be working behind the scenes to try and make something happen. We need to make it happen. I think Carnival Slayers know what they was doing by getting me involved, because once I get involved in something, I'm like on it like a dog behind a bone. So we're gonna make something happen. Big Bad want a mankini. Big Bad, look, I'm saying thanks to everybody. Why are you talking about mankini now? Put up mankini now. I want you to send me a picture so I could show it to everybody. You understand? Show it to everybody. So with you and this mankini. But no, Sorry, I got sidetracked there. I get distracted. When you talk about monkey and I get distracted. Sorry. Yes, thank you very much, ladies. Looking forward to your music. Keep doing what you're doing. And all love and blessings to each and every one of you. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Love you
Thank
too,
you for having us. It was great. Thank you.
Lovely,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And thanks to all our viewers tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm like,
Are we offline?
That's what I was wondering.
are we still here? Like, do I eat my kebab now or?
Nah, I don't think we're offline.
No, we're
No,
I
still
think we
thank
just
you.
leave studio.
We are.
Solution, everyone. Nice to see you. Miss
All right,
Diana.
nice.
guys. I just
Thank
followed
you.
you.
Lovely
Thanks,
night.
ladies.
Nice to meet you guys. You.
Peace.
Bye.
You.